Don't Sleep With Me by Katy, Laurance. Cast of characters.
Shy, the right side of the bed, can't sleep. Shy can never touch the ground or leave the bed unless specifically directed in the script.
Joe, the other side of the bed, Shy's partner. Actor portraying Joe and all other characters can fully utilize the space and manipulates the bed, set, and props.
All voiceovers to be read by stage instructions. Setting: a dark bedroom with a bed for two, almost midnight. At Rise, a large bed for two in the middle of the stage with headboard, side tables, bedside lamps, and a chest at the foot of the bed. Shy is drinking tea in the bed. Joe enters, brushing their teeth, carrying a cup.
She good?
Oh yeah, just the cat came up to me and I was like,
What?
Wanted her dinner. Here, you done?
Thanks. She's a filthy liar. I already felt better earlier.
So did I.
Joe exits to the bathroom just off stage.
Spoiled, filthy liar.
What time is your alarm? Socks.
Already on. I should leave by 7, so get up by 6:30.
Okay, gonna set the backup for 6:40.
Joe starts setting up water bottles, pillow, sound machine, etc. It's somewhat elaborate.
You good?
Yeah, good.
Meds?
Don't want to be groggy.
We stayed up too late.
We wanted to watch the ending. I'll be fine.
Hey, did you find your mask?
No, the bed ate it apparently.
Take mine.
No, it's plenty dark. I'll be fine.
Arms.
Joe puts patches on Shy's arms.
Gonna sneeze?
Just enjoying the soothing lavender.
I still think you're allergic.
But you said they help, right?
I said maybe they might help.
I'll take it. You want me to get your pressure points tonight?
No, I'm sure I'm plenty tired. I'll be fine.
Joe gets them both settled in bed, fluffing both sets of pillows before putting in earplugs and reaching for the lamp.
Well, wake me up if you want me. Love you.
They kiss.
Hope you sleep good.
Joe turns off the lamp, pulls down their eye mask, and lays down.
Me too.
What?
Love you.
Love you.
Shy continues to look at her phone.
Phone.
Yeah.
Shy puts her phone on the nightstand, tries to get comfortable for sleep. The lights slowly fade out. A loud notification plays on Shy's phone.
Shoot.
Shy wrestles with the phone to silent it.
Better turn yours off too. Like, off. Come on, if I have to, you have to.
Shy puts the phone back and lays down. The lights slowly fade back up. Shy is in a different, uncomfortable, cannot sleep position.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I just know. Or maybe it's just me, but it's like if you get migraines, you get this aura that tells you they're coming, right? Or smelling snow before it snows. I mean, that's not me, that's my grandma. But look, I want to sleep. Really, I do, obviously. And I try, and Joe tries, the socks, the tea, bless her. She thinks it's like one of her math equations. X plus effort plus good energy minus screen time equals sleep. Just solve for X. So I find my good energy and I put in the effort, I turn off my phone and I lay there in the dark and I try to sleep. And pretty soon I'm sneaking my phone under the covers. Like, I know when it's not going to work and it's boring just lying there and I don't really need to sneak. I mean, poor Joe's almost immediately.
Joe rolls over and we now see their full sleep regalia, eye mask, ear coverings, neck stabilizing pillow, everything.
I mean, Joe, sorry, this is Joe. I mean, you can say hi if you want. Hi, Joe. Yeah, she can't hear you. I mean, through all that getup. What is crazy is that she
Just put the ducks away.
doesn't even read all this? Like, it's only to block out any noise I make when I'm not sleeping. And not only can she sleep anywhere,
Silly goose.
she is fucking adorable when she does it.
Joe wraps an arm around Shy where she sits in bed and continues sleeping. Joe is content.
Well, I guess is the one upside to being up. But it's not just me, right? Like, I don't know how many nights I've spent like this, but I mean, what do you do? Seriously, tell me. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've tried every possible remedy and hack to this, but I shouldn't assume. So, on the off chance that there is a sleep remedy I haven't tried, what do you do? Like that. I want to hear, what do you do?
Sleep meditation.
Okay. Okay. Oh, what was the other one?
Microclimate regulator.
Microclimate regulator. Is it on Amazon?
No.
It's a machine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It plugs into my sheet.
Oh, the bed cooler.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. I have the ability, so you can see right now, my hands and my feet are icy cold. I have sweated this out and we are 2 minutes in. So, unfortunately, like the cooling thing doesn't help soothe me. And then meditate, okay. I have tried all of it. I have tried sleep hygiene, journaling, no screens, but the meditation, I have tried guided meditation, I've tried recordings, I've tried the apps, I've tried guided meditation crystals, all of them.
Did you
What?
bring all the ducks in?
When did we get ducks?
It's a secret.
I mean, Joe can go to bed on any schedule, after any meal, watch cartoons in bed, and tales. Meanwhile, I'm listening to.
Shy puts in her earbuds, pulling up an app on her phone.
They're all. Yeah. Well, here's the latest.
Soothing meditation music plays. Hello, soul sister. Welcome to the synthetic sleep oasis. I'm glad you're here.
Great.
I invite you to take a journey out of body, out of mind,
I mean, you could tell, right? This is not going to work.
and splash into a soothing lake of tranquility.
Swimming makes me seasick.
Let's start your journey by laying down in a comfortable position. Please lay
I
down
lay down.
and get comfortable.
I get comfortable.
Now close your eyes
Close my eyes.
and just take a moment to relax.
Relax. That is the worst advice of all. Just relax.
Relax your feet and your legs.
If I could relax, I wouldn't need this app.
Relax your torso, your neck, your arms.
Relax.
And
Relax.
just take a moment to notice your breath.
I feel like it's been.
Wasn't that nice? If you haven't yet reached for your grounding stone, now would be the perfect
For the
time.
love of-
Shy pulls out a SpongeBob Bikini Bottom Pineapple House aquarium decoration and puts it on her chest.
I may hate open water, but Joe loves fish. Loves them. Aquariums everywhere. I had to be very firm when I put my foot down about fish tanks.
Your
in the
grounding stone connects you to your present as you release the past. Let's take a moment to notice our grounded breathing in our bodies.
Okay, we all know this bit. We're just gonna skip it.
Now notice your toes. Your right big toe. Your right smaller toe. The middle.
And it's always the same.
Notice in reverse. Your left middle finger.
No.
We've now entered the last relaxation circle together.
Thank God.
And soul sister,
What?
I'm I'm grateful you're here.
Not.
Now, with your hands on your grounding stone, we are going to count the beats of our heart as it slows down and prepares for rest. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and again, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and again, sister, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, yes, again, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, yes, again, and
I can't help it. My mind wanders, and some random memory pops up, and suddenly I'm
Joe becomes the coach and blows a whistle.
reliving the moment I turned my childhood idol into my adolescent enemy.
She whistles.
Next!
I'm in gymnastics. This is my coach, not the one I idolized. That was later. This coach.
She whistles.
Next!
This coach was more intense than impressive. But I did love gymnastics. I mean, the humans flying across the bouncy floor, the adrenaline.
She whistles.
Try again.
Okay, actually, I hate adrenaline and swimming. Okay, really, I just liked that I got to wear a leotard, a matching scrunchie in my favorite color.
She whistles.
More height. You need more air time.
And I hate heights too, as it turns out.
She whistles.
Right. Next.
But at first, it was fun. For a long time, we just did like 2 things. Warm-ups, seal walks, crab walks, otter rolls, and probably other underwater creature moves. What? Anyway, the rest of the time, okay, so like, you know how when an Olympic gymnast does the vault? Well, if you don't know that one, that's where they run really fast at a tiny springboard that flings them headfirst into a bad replica of, I think, a horse's torso. Anyway, they fly like 12 or 20 feet in the air, just spinning over the head of her feet, and then, well, that's what we did. Just like the gymnasts on TV, arms down, breathe, point, step, pivot, arms straight, walk, pivot, adjust, breathe, shoulders, and then, run, spring, horse, fly, and right? The only difference was that anything that in all of that could be dangerous to the untrained, which was all of us, we were 8. All of that had to be done as pretend. So instead of running down the vault trail towards the headless horse, we walked slowly from one corner of the open floor to the other corner of the open floor. And I don't know what they called this sport that we were actually doing, but essentially we were doing the make-believe Olympics. All of our early gymnastics training was like this. Okay, so name another gymnastics event.
Bar.
The split bars, yeah. Okay, so earlier note about fear of heights. This was also my least favorite gymnastics event. The thing about the bars is that it's all about focusing gravity around the central point of the bar, okay? But when you're doing it as make-believe, you more have to feel the gravity as like an emotion versus feel it in real life. Because we did the whole thing on the ground, thank God. Anyway, so same thing as every other gymnastics event. Breathe, point, step, point, step, point, step. This time, eyes on the bar. Our coach was very clear about this. Our eyes had to be on the bar at all times. Never on our feet, never anywhere else. Eyes on the bar. Hands up. And push. The grunt was really important there. Stabilize. And then we just had to focus on rotation. We're firmly standing on the ground this whole time. Rotation. Point your toes. They're flat, but you had to feel like they would be pointing if you were. Rotation and. I mean, that's right. But the minute that they wanted wanted me to do any of that in the air, I was right out, which is why I left gymnastics and ended up in dance class.
Okay, warm-ups, go.
And there was still tumbling, but it was more on the ground, thankfully. No bars or beams. And my coach, she was the coolest girl on the planet. And I desperately needed to impress her.
Next.
I remember playing it out like a montage in my mind. I'm working on my tumble passes, and I make a valiant, almost successful attempt. Close up on my coach, she would keep a straight face, but nod silently, seeing my early promise. My raw determination would earn her respect. Over time, she would help me train, and with the combination of her mentorship and acceptance, I would become my best self. Anyone else cast themselves in a movie in their own head? Maybe it's just me. Okay.
Focus on the mat.
Right. That day, we were working on back handsprings. Once we mastered the standing, flinging in the air, hands, feet, combo thing, we graduated to round off back handsprings, which is, well, it's just like a long run to gain momentum followed by a normal cartwheel that transforms in mid-air to redirect into momentum. We were 9, okay, and bring both feet together to land on the floor with enough power to propel us into a backhand's air on the floor and more air and
good.
Thanks, coach.
Back to the mat.
Sorry, coach. Okay. Now, I had managed to master the training wheels version of this round-off back handspring. You had to wear a belt, and there were 2 ropes attached that the coach and her assistant used to keep us from falling on our head. But today was my chance to try unassisted. No ropes, no belt, just me and the mat and coach.
Go.
Shy starts to run in slow motion, in place, on the bed, while Coach rotates it, and perhaps something reminiscent to the theme from Chariots of Fire plays.
Gaining my coach's approval had been an uphill battle. I mean, mostly because outside of victory posing, I was super clumsy and not in any way naturally gifted in gymnastics or sport of any kind. But also, my coach was just legitimately cool. Like, in that I can throw on sweats and a t-shirt and still look effortlessly put together kind of way. Or that I'm not gonna date until college because high school guys are so immature and you believe it kind of way. Meanwhile, I was intense for a 9-year-old, like in a I'm bound for stardom, just watch me kind of way. I was wildly uncool, and she could smell my eagerness from a mile off.
Round off.
Shy approximates a slow motion round-off with the coach assisting.
Maybe I should have been nervous, but as I rotated upside down, imagine upside down right now. Anyway, I made cartwheel. All I could think was the moment I would reveal to my coach the little spark of greatness that I could feel burning inside me, but that had been stuck, hiding.
Shy completes the round-off.
And back.
I watch it happen, just a split second ahead.
Shy starts the approximation of a slow motion back handspring. Coach assists. The music reaches a crescendo.
Instead of flailing backwards blindly, I can see myself flying. My form clean, I'm upside down again. Spinning end over end, my legs are guiding me straight and sure until I kick my very cool coach very directly in her very cool face.
Shy continues her failed back handspring as the coach reels in pain.
In case you've never done gymnastics or tumbling before, learning aerial maneuvers can be extremely disorienting. You actually lose track of where up is or down was. They even have a name for it in gymnastics. It's called the twisties. And this is true. You mix up hands and feet, mind and body disconnect, and you're spinning over and over with no control. Apparently, when you defy gravity, you can sometimes stop reliably sensing it. Which is wild, by the way. It's like if the sun rose in the morning and on its way back down to set in the evening, it forgot where the horizon was. Another thing you should know,
Fuck! Oh!
kicking your gymnastics coach in the face is not the way to make her think you're cool.
Fuck me, that hurt!
You know, I've gone months, years at a time, forgetting that I even took tumbling lessons.
I'm sorry.
Or attempted to learn back handsprings.
Whew, okay, next, go.
And then randomly,
Ah! Fuck me, that hurt!
sometimes it gets stuck and just plays on repeat in my brain while I'm lying there, eyes closed, decades later. Run, round off.
Wait! Ah! Fuck!
Like my brain decides to drown out whatever anxiety bullshit is flooding my head that night with a repeating reel of my childhood self kicking her beloved idol in the face. Can't stop it. No! Over and over.
Ah! Can we stop?
No control.
Dance coach stops the next kick before it hits her face.
Oh, right! We get it!
Sorry. I'll get it next time. And I did. I mean, round off back handsprings. I mean, not the next time. It was a while before I got to try again, and it took many, many tries. I also tried many, many times to make my coach my new best friend, and that never happened. Dream montage gone. But back then, I was convinced that with the right mix of charm and nerve, I could find friends anywhere. In dance class, in school, on the playground, at
Archie,
my grandma's house.
it's 11:30.
Crap.
Sunshine,
Hide!
it's almost time.
Hide, idiots, hide!
Sunshine, it's the 700 Club. You better hurry.
My dad worked like it was his job and his hobby, so I stayed at my grandma's house a lot growing up. 3 hours into any visit, I had already ransacked her house for anything that could be remotely considered a toy or entertainment. There wasn't much of either, and I was smart enough kid to know that if I sat still too long,
Archie, you're missing it.
the only way to escape Pat Robertson and his good word was to be able to plausibly deny hearing Grandma. And the only way to do that was to not be in the house. There was the backyard.
Archie, get the chicken poop for Grandma's potatoes.
The only corner that wasn't manure, vegetables, or bees was occupied by an old swing set. Which was fine. Simple joys of childhood. So, whatever. But I wasn't a simple joys kind of kid. It was boring as hell.
Archie, language.
Pat, sorry.
Pat can hear you.
Sorry, Pat. Anyway, a gang of spiders claimed the swing set as their turf, and that was the end of me swinging. So, couldn't be inside, couldn't be in the backyard, and that meant I was stuck in the front of her crumbling driveway, which was only an improvement in that there were less bugs. I still had no one to talk to or play with. And I had to fix that. So, one day I marched myself to the end of that driveway, planted my feet, and confidently shouted, "I'm going to open a lemonade stand!" I had just read a picture book about two kids who ran a lemonade stand for the summer, and I had recently watched Big Bird do it on a very touching episode of Sesame Street. So, obviously I had it all figured out. Now, true, I had no lead on customers. It was a really quiet neighborhood. But I wasn't worried. I had also just seen Field of Dreams, and I don't think as a 5-year-old I really understood the metaphors involved. But I figured lemonade was like baseball. If you build it, they will come by a styrofoam cup kind of situation. What I hadn't figured on was that all the supplies I might need were back in the house with Grandma.
Archie, commercial's over.
And our friend Pat. So, my first lemonade stand had to be a stealth mission. Sneaking into her house while my grandma was occupied, swiping extra cups from the dishwasher, the tablecloth from the dryer. Home perm day was a big break.
Remember, Heartsweet, you have to suffer for beauty.
Grandma starts the hairdresser.
It was just the cover I needed to dig out every single spare coin from her junk drawer.
Grandma cranks the hairdryer louder.
And extract the card table from behind the nativity scene lawn ornaments in the garage.
Grandma finishes her hair.
Making the lemonade came last and had to wait until I was making tea for Grandma's afternoon shows.
Sunshine, sewing with Nancy's almost started.
Coming, Grandma! It wasn't until I was brewing the Liptons, though, that I realized a crucial point. Lemons weren't an item my grandma tended to keep on hand in her kitchen. So that's how I ended up outside on a sunny afternoon setting up my first Welch's grapefruit juice cocktail, Sam. No, if you're tempted to think that this might be cute, envision that in your head, maybe don't. I spent the rest of that day at the stand, sold 0 cups because, and I repeat, I was selling sips of liquid to strangers out of a random half-drunk jug of grape juice on a random workday afternoon. The few people out of doors realized their mistake real quick once I spotted them and started yelling, hey, come buy juice, bring quarters.
Ladylike voices.
But by this point, I had built up my inevitable success so high in my head that I was convinced my lack of sales had nothing to do with my approach and everything to do with a complete lack of self-awareness and everything to do with the fickleness of the market. I needed a better product. What followed was a week of product launches. I made homemade stickers,
Sweet, have you seen the latest parade?
which were just cutouts from magazines stuck to packing tape.
Sweet, where's my cookie tin?
I made stick-on earrings with my grandma's buttons,
Sweet.
held on by scotch tape.
Wait, where?
I ran out of packing tape.
Honestly, I thought I just bought. How are we out of jelly? Damn!
Hot damn! It's toast with jam!
Language!
At that point, concerned with either my well-being or her reputation or just personal property, my grandma put her foot down.
No more stealing, and no more selling on the street, and no more yelling at the neighbors to bring money to my yard. It makes us look needy and unseemly.
I didn't say we needed money, I just wanted it. What does unseemly mean?
Embarrassing! It's embarrassing!
She had no idea. The next day, I stole poster materials from her office and walked up and down the street wearing a homemade sandwich board sign that said, "Looking for a friend." I was out there for over an hour before she found me. Just me, by myself, like a sad Dickens-era orphan. The truth is, my grandma actually loves to tell that story. She told it to Joe the first 3 times they met, at least. But don't worry, obviously, at some point, I made friends, good ones. My self-assuredness wore off just enough for me to find self-consciousness, and right behind it. Meaning I eventually grew enough self-awareness to soften my approach. I mean, maybe if I was watching a movie of some little kid busking on the sidewalk for friendship, I would find it more cute than embarrassing. I mean, maybe if I was someone other than me, I wouldn't think twice about every... Tell you what, let's play a game. I'm going to give you a series of matchups. Think headlines to what I consider my most embarrassing memories, okay? And then based on those headlines, you'll all get to collectively tell me what sounds more embarrassing. We'll run it bracket style, okay? And then the one that wins this Midnight Madness, I'll tell you that story. Okay? All right. We're going to start basic. What do you think is more embarrassing? We're going to do a show of hands, I guess. Inopportune bodily functions in a public setting or puberty. Okay? So, inopportune bodily functions, hands raised. Okay? Nice. Okay, puberty. Ay. You guys really split the room. All right, we're going to do it by woos instead. Bodily functions, woo. No! Puberty. It's puberty, okay. Noted. Okay, so what is more embarrassing then? As a newly pubescent girl, brassiere shopping with your very loud grandmother in a very public place, or live-action role-playing that you're on Star Search with Ed McMahon in front of your peers. Okay? All right, so bra shopping, we're going with woos. Bra shopping? Okay? Live-action role-playing that you're on Star Search with Ed McMahon in front of your peers. People. Okay, it was Las Vegas. I was 12. I was there for a dance convention. My coach, who now vaguely hated me, did not attempt. Now, reminder, this was Las Vegas back when it wasn't for kids. But one day, I was on a chaperoned walk with the rest of the troop, and in the middle of a row of slot machines just past the buffet, I found a karaoke booth. Okay, you walked inside and got to pick a number from a relatively short list of songs, and then sing on demand. But the best part, there was a green screen behind you, and for $20, you could get a VHS tape of you singing in front of the, weird off-brand music videos that they play in karaoke bars. Now, I love to dance, but I loved singing more. Like, I was Star Search obsessed, and I had never gotten the chance to sing in front of people. So I confidently marched up to that karaoke booth, gave them a $20 bill, and dragged at least 4 kids from my dance class into the karaoke booth with me. I said, I'm singing Summer Rain by Belinda Carlisle. You guys dance behind me. I don't know what I thought they were gonna do. Why I thought they would suddenly explode with some magically synchronized choreography. It was a small booth. But I had confidence in myself, and at least one of them had to feel like I did, right? Like, have a secret dream of winning a trophy from Meg McMahon. So I belted out that upbeat summer ballad about sweethearts separated by war and inclement weather in front of all of them, like it was my big break. It was over all too fast. And I got my cassette hopped out of the machine, utterly thrilled. Until I realized that there was no VHS player to be found anywhere on this trip. Not in our hotel room, not anywhere. So by the end of the trip, when I got home from the airport, I dropped my bag in the hallway, threw myself in front of the TV in the den, popped in the tape, and listened to my voice belting outside of my own head for the first time. At which point I realized I was out of tune for at least half the song. And I got to watch the faces of all the kids standing behind me. Maybe they were just nervous, or maybe they were genuinely having fun, but they were definitely laughing. That was, I get it. They didn't ask for their reactions to be filmed any more than I asked to sing off key. I didn't get brave enough to sing karaoke again until I was almost 30. And to be fair, that was probably because of the compounding embarrassment from watching the second tape. With the lack of immediate feedback that a VHS player in the hotel would have brought, you better believe I had loved the experience so much that I had made everyone come back with me to the karaoke booth the next day to record another Belinda Carlisle song. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on... Shit.
Are you singing?
No, that was my phone. Sorry, volume was still on.
You can't sleep?
Don't worry, it's off now.
You really need your rest for tomorrow.
I know. See? Off.
I can make more tea. Honey bush, cuddle, soul soother.
No, I've had plenty. Let's just go back to sleep.
Can't I help?
You can lay down with me so we can...
Sunshine, are you sure?
Yeah, sure. It's fine. It's not anything.
Joe relents and then lays back down. The lights fade down. The lights fade up, and Shy is laying on her side, facing the audience. Joe is spooning her from behind, her face contentedly resting on Shy's shoulder, very asleep.
Shy's a cuddler. Doesn't matter, big spoon, little spoon, loves it. It's adorable and sweet and always has been.
Joe squeezes Shy.
And I love it. I always have. I was overwhelmingly interested from the first time I saw her.
Joe sits up.
We met at school, a group hangout. I was trying to inconspicuously blend into the room when someone finished the punchline of a joke, and I heard Joe laugh. It was this full body, unreserved laugh, and second, her smile. It was so full of delight only one seat open, and it just so happens to be right next to Joe. I mean, or maybe I'd actually beelined past 2 open chairs and a half-empty couch to sit directly next to her. And that's when I noticed the third thing. The way she smelled. It's not a definable fragrance. Just like, she smelled the way her smile felt. Like warm, like a summer morning. I know how all this sounds. Like a teenage girl's diary, all youthful hormones and overwhelming nostalgia. Maybe it's just me, the memory of it in my head, but she still smells like that. Like the rush you feel seeing something you know is important for the first time. Now, thankfully, I didn't say any of that the first time we met, and not all of it. We actually didn't really have a conversation at all, and as the group broke apart, I could have gotten up, said goodbye, maybe left Joe with a knowing little look and air of mystery. This was a rom-com, that's how it would have happened. That is not what happened. By this point, I had learned to edit the way I had presented myself in the world, but I hadn't felt like this in a long time, like a heroine. And so, in that half second before standing to leave, without thinking, I leaned towards Joe and I said, "You smell good." And I walked away. No. Okay, I wasn't embarrassed then, and I refuse to be embarrassed now. Look, I was so dang young when we first met, and I was too entranced to be anything like self-conscious. Joe was everything. Our first date wasn't until almost a year friendship later, and it was dinner in Canasta at my grandma's house, which wasn't ideal for obvious reasons, the obvious being Canasta and my grandma's house. Plus,
Why are there 2 decks?
Joe didn't know how to play. But with school, Sundays were sometimes the only chance we had to spend time together. By then, my grandma had, thankfully, mellowed her out quite a bit. No more 700 Club, at least. Mostly her interventions were
Sunshine, dinner's ready.
mandatory Sunday dinners and daily doses of cod liver oil, which, if you haven't tried it, it is thick, endlessly pungent, even when chilled, and in my experience, always dosed from a giant spoon, like Mary Poppins, but less fun. But another reason why a card game at my grandma's was a less than ideal romantic setting was because my family was incredibly competitive with the game of canasta. Okay? Not just competitive. Each and every one of us was so focused on beating the others that we were all somehow sore losers and sore winners. And that night, with Joe as witness, was no exception. If I lost a round,
I think the sand wins, right? I guess she likes to win.
I win!
He throws it in Joe's face and throws Joe's cars on the ground.
Joe drove me home after dessert. Yeah, I knew, well, after my showing, I could see the ride play out in my head in front of me. It would be strained and silent, a couple awkward thank yous, it's a goodbye, and then roll in credits. Classic tragedy. Joe meant so much. Even just as a friend, and it hurt knowing that I had completely ruined it.
Does your grandma make pot roast often?
Not very often. Usually just when she wants to impress guests.
So she wanted to impress me. Good to know. What else is in rotation?
What?
What else does she cook for the VIP Sunday guests? Week 1, pot roast. Week 2.
Week 2.
She said I could come back next week, right? I did okay?
No, you did great.
Even if I suck at that game?
You didn't suck. You've never played before.
I'm pretty sure you said I suck.
Yeah, I did.
And then you told me to suck it right in my face. It was loud.
That's because I suck.
No, you were great. Though, to be clear, I'm I'm never going to play cards with you or your family ever again.
Which is a promise she has kept for all the years since. And there have been years because she didn't just have the patience for dates at my grandma's table. That first night after we got back to my house, we sat in my car, or her car, in my driveway, and we talked for another hour and a half. Each time I made a move to get out or she started to say goodnight, one of us would think of just one more thing we desperately wanted to say. I think I sat in the passenger seat for probably 10 minutes straight with the seatbelt unlatched but still holding the strap halfway across my body because Joe had started telling me about the scuba diving job she had lined up for next summer and the weird fish she had to fend off on her last training dive, and I couldn't look away. Somehow that turned into me giving a blow-by-blow plot summary of a musical Joe had never heard of, but that the theater department was putting on next semester and which I desperately wanted a part in. Joe sat in the driver's seat with the sunset right behind me, probably burning her eyes, but she couldn't look away either. I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, for it to be too much, for me to be too much, but she only ever seemed eager to see me again, even if it was just for Sunday dinner. It wasn't until years later that Joe confessed that my grandma's pot roast reliably gave her intestinal distress. It was years before she told me that, and this is true, whenever we kissed after Sunday dinner, all she could taste was cold-pressed fish juice. She only ever seemed eager to kiss me again. She only ever seemed eager to be with me, regardless of where we were, and anywhere was fine with me. Driving aimlessly, trading CDs, my first time hearing
CCR's greatest hits?
and
You haven't heard of Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
it was also the first time I'd ever heard,
We got a thing that's called Radar Love.
it's the first time Joe had ever heard
Shakira?
and Save Ferris. I had their album It Means Everything on repeat until the disc warped and wouldn't play anymore. We spent a lot of time watching each other's favorite movies too. We intended to watch them. Like I said, we were pretty busy, so if we ever got time alone,
Joe and Shy rush into a heated kiss.
there were a lot of movies I only saw the first 15 minutes of before.
Joe and Shy kiss again.
The only hope I had of knowing how it ended was if we were watching them in my grandma's den in the basement and
Joe and Shy kiss again.
Sunshine. Does Joe want a snack while she's here?
Still, I learned pretty quickly that Joe's favorite films were either absurdly silly or deeply sad. It was the first time I ever watched So I Married an Axe Murderer and Chariots of Fire. I was also always steering us towards golden age movie musicals. In between 700 Club and lessons on how to be a lady, my grandma played them constantly, and I grew to love them. And, okay, just to be clear, it's not like Joe and I were perfect halves of a whole, like just endlessly delighted with each other. Joe dreams of sailing around the world. I'm afraid of the ocean. I'm clumsy, get scrapes and cuts all the time, and Joe faints seeing anyone even get a blood draw. I don't think to this day Joe has ever actually enjoyed a musical, which I don't get. She loves Mike Myers and Leslie Nielsen, but thinks people bursting into song and dance is unrealistic. I understood deeply, especially that first summer with Joe, like the feeling of being so overcome with feeling that you have no choice but to dance or sing or make out with your girlfriend in your grandma's basement. I tried endlessly to convince her. I mean, the first time we watched An American in Paris, I gave a twirl-by-twirl account of every shot of the Dream Ballet at the end, the symbolism behind every frame.
Shy performs and narrates a rapid-fire version of the Dream Ballet from An American in Paris, with the role of Gene Kelly played by Joe. It's triumphant. It's bold. It goes a little long. When it stops,
I don't know at what point we stopped swapping movies or making out 15 minutes after they started. And I don't know when I stopped being anything other than completely open with Joe. Enough to narrate and reenact a 17-minute worthless choreography in front of my grandmother's basement TV. I mean, by the time I met Joe, I had learned how to be in the world. But when we met, suddenly I remembered how to be me again in the world. Not just edited, just myself and free without even thinking about it. And then, somehow, without even thinking about it, so slowly I can't point to when, I started to edit myself around Joe too. To choose what I said and what I didn't. To curate the version of me that I gave her. Now, years later, I found myself lying next to her, and I've never said I don't actually like Creedence Clearwater Revival or cheesecake, and Joe makes it every Christmas. Or that sometimes I fantasize about having a partner who's a really good dancer, and I've resisted taking dance lessons together in case Joe realizes that and thinks I'm disappointed. And I'm ashamed at the thought that despite the sweetness of the gesture, that I secretly would be. I mean, how could I do that? What does that make me? This is my person. Someone who still knows me better than any other human ever has. I didn't consciously choose to start hiding things away, what I want or like or am afraid of, any more than I choose the embarrassing memories that pop into my head in the middle of the night when I can't sleep. And like the first time I performed on stage after college, years after graduating, and Joe came to the show. And my castmates all gushed over the flowers Joe brought me. But to spare Joe, or spare me, I don't know which, I didn't tell anyone about later that night when I hid in the bathroom and I cried because all Joe had to say to me after the show was, "Good job." And nothing more to say about the show, about everything I had poured into that performance, about what the months that I gave it had meant. And I know it wasn't her thing, but I felt so dismissed and small, and I still think about that night, every show I have ever performed in since. And the smell of fish tanks makes me seasick in my own house.
Hon?
Shoot.
You awake?
No.
So you're sleeping,
Yes.
standing on the bed.
I mean, no, I'm going to sleep now.
What time is it?
I'm just laying back down. Big spoon?
You've been up this whole time.
I didn't need to wake you.
Well, too late now, and I wanted you to wake me up if you couldn't sleep. What are you doing?
I'm just You're sitting on the end of the.
Wait, let me.
I'm gonna go to the couch.
No.
I'm keeping both of us up now.
Well, okay, so if we're both up anyway, let me help.
Joe, I'm drowning in blankets, in socks, and soothing tea, and cuddles, and covered in lavender patches. And yet it's the middle of the night, and here I am, wide awake.
I know, Shy.
Because none of that shit actually makes any difference.
I know.
So, if there's nothing you can do for me, the least I can do is start punishing us both for it.
Who says there's nothing I can do?
You stop the clock? We just stay here, nighttime, forever? The sun won't stop rising, and I won't be able to sleep. But maybe you will if I go to the
Shy's foot almost touches the floor.
This isn't punishing me?
What?
You think I'm gonna be able to sleep in here?
Why wouldn't you? You can sleep anywhere.
Joe starts to gather up blankets and their pillow.
What are you doing?
I'm going to the couch.
No.
I can sleep.
Joe, I'm sorry. At least, you hate the couch.
I can sleep anywhere, right?
Joe,
Get some rest.
Joe exits. Shy sits in the dark. She reaches for her phone. Soothing meditation music plays. Good morning, soul sister.
No.
Shy turns off the meditation app and puts down her phone. Eventually, the sky begins to lighten out the window.
I know that if tonight was a movie that we were watching together, I wouldn't want it to end here. I mean, what was the point? The sun's about to rise, and what changed? Just a woman alone in bed, can't sleep at night. Why can't she sleep? It's because she's worried about tomorrow. What else is new? Is something else on? And I'm not withholding what I'm afraid of from Joe or you, or to push her away or to spare you. I just don't think it matters. I mean, I could tell you that I'm worried about finding a job. Or my grandma is getting older and I live too far away to help. Or I have a terrible fungal infection on my right middle toe. Like, it's awful, it smells bad, and tomorrow I find out if I get to keep it or chop chop. So what now? Intellectually, you understand me better. And what? Compassion? Empathy follow? See, because I don't think that's how it works. If I told you the story of empathy, the way I think most of us are told, if you care about someone, or at least like them a little, and you can understand their circumstances, put your feet in their shoes, I mean, not my shoes, obviously, and poof, empathy, like a fairy tale. I guess it's not so much a story as it is a math equation. Empathy equals caring plus common experience, right? And if it's like math, then if there is more caring or more common experience, then you get more empathy on the other side. But I want you to think back to any point earlier tonight, watching me. Maybe that somehow endeared me to you a little. You care a bit about where all this goes? Maybe you even saw a little of yourself in dance class, or your grandma's house, or on a first date. Maybe you have a worryingly colored, itchy, stinky appendage hidden somewhere. I don't know. Maybe you get it. But did you also, at some point, think, all right, we get it. Get over yourself. Maybe you, like me, can't sleep at night, are worried about tomorrow, and yet are looking at me right now, and instead of wanting to share that load with me, maybe you feel distance instead. Maybe even a little bit of disgust. I don't know what any of you thinks of me in this moment. But I know that disgust could be there. Because I felt it. And of all the things I am embarrassed of, that might be what brings me the most shame. And it confounds me because I want empathy for myself. Obviously, I'm human. Fucking human. But sometimes the more I have in common with someone, the stronger that feeling of revulsion can be when my empathy for them just turns inside out. And I can't predict when that will flip or when it will fail. Because that's the other lie in the story. That if you care about someone, your empathy for them should last as long as you need it. Like empathy is a room you build and share until the sun rises and the nightmare is over and you get up and you leave that room together. But compassion isn't a place or a state you reach. It's a vein you tap into. And despite your best intentions or how much you love, it can run dry without any warning. I know I shouldn't assume your empathy or assume it's going to fail any more than I should assume that what I'm secretly afraid of will find me in the morning. Maybe it's all just me. Maybe it's just me that reaches for caring and compassion and comes up empty-handed. Maybe it is just me, but I am afraid it's you too. I'm afraid it'll be Joe.
The sky brightens out the window, the beginnings of a beautiful sunrise.
A funny thing about dreading the morning. Okay, I'm not a morning person. I resent the alarm every time it goes off, but I love a sunrise. Not symbolically, I just think the colors are pretty. Like, I can't help it. I will drop almost anything. A phone call, a pan of eggs, to watch a good one. It's the mix of pink and blue. And gold. Peach, purple, it doesn't matter. I've never found a sunrise on film that makes me feel what I feel when I look out at the window. one that I could frame and hang on my wall and enjoy forever. And when I watch, I'm acutely aware, painfully aware, that each shift of the light might be the moment it ends. Suddenly the magic runs out and it's just me. They're beautiful. They could disappear without warning. But I watch them anyway. Can't seem to look away.
The sky continues changing and casting the room in colors. Joe re-enters with a throw blanket and pillow. They can't sleep. Joe sits beside Shy. Faint music is coming from Joe's headphones, and Shy gestures, "What are you listening to?" Joe takes off her headphones, and now Shy and Joe and the audience can hear the song too. Soon the music moves Joe to dance. It may be simple or graceful. Sometimes it's silly, but it's always sweet. Eventually, Joe is dancing around the room and spinning the bed, and Shy joins in with wild, joyful dancing on the bed as blinding sun and colors pour into the room. Joe joins her up there. They go still. Suddenly, Joe's alarm goes off. The music stops. The spell is broken. Joe turns off the alarm and silently checks in with Shy before leaving the room to start the day. Shy, resigned to getting up, rises. Her feet hit the ground. And then, blackout. End of play.
All right. I'm excited to get us all talking.